welcome to the Kamado Show. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Coley. We are the brother-sister anime duo. Not in a love you like a brother-sister kind of way, but as in go ask our mom, she's the same person.
This show is an anime lover safe haven catered toward the average anime lover, free from spoilers.
This episode will be about Dragon Ball Daima, episodes 11 and 12. So let's get started.
All right, so we're going to kick things off here with Goku meets the OG Namekian, as we're calling him, Neva, which we kind of said we are going to pick up with from our last episode. We knew this was going to happen. They're going to get into his story now. We're going to learn a little bit about him.
Yeah, so Neva acknowledges Piccolo as a warrior-type Namekian.
If you recall back when they were in Planet Namek, when they meet Nail, they explain something along the lines of, well, there's really kind of two different kinds of Namekians. There's the ones that are the warrior type, Piccolo, for example, Nail, and then there's also the Dragon Clan. You think of like Guru, Dende, really even Kami.
Okay.
And what was interesting is, I don't know how common, Namekians are supposed to be like stronger in general than regular Earthlings. But as far as warrior types, those seem to not be as common, which is probably why Frieza's force was just able to, wipe out so many Namekians so easily, and the Namekians just really struggled to keep up with them. But, they're talking later on with Neva, and they're like, well, all this time, why don't you just use the Dragon Balls to make a wish to basically just undo some of this, fix some of this bad stuff in here? And he says, well, that power of their race is not a weapon to be wielded in worldly conflicts. And this is really a funny moment where he said, our power as Namekians should not be wielded in worldly conflict. Whoosh, quick camera pan to Piccolo. Been involved in every single major conflict in Dragon Ball Z. He's just like, all right, get off of me. So, and then next we get into, and this part's really cool too. He says, oh, you remind me of, how do you pronounce Piccolo's?
Katats.
Katats. Okay, thank you. He says Katats, which this part confused me. I don't know if you understood this, but Piccolo says, well,
That's my father.
That's my father. Well, no, Piccolo's father should have been King Piccolo, right? So it would have been King Piccolo's father. It should have been Piccolo's grandfather, technically, shouldn't it have been?
We don't consider like King Piccolo and Piccolo. They're definitely two different people.
I consider them two different people.
Okay.
Yes. I know they're kind of like similar, but yeah, I kind of consider them to be two different people.
My Piccolo background knowledge isn't quite as sharp probably as what yours is. So don't come for me in the comments if I'm screwing something up.
Yeah. Well, I thought it'd be kind of neat to sort of revisit the Piccolo's lineage. So first you have Katats, right? As I pronounce his name right, because I can't remember. It was the first I really ever heard that. So you have him. Then you have what we kind of call the nameless Namek, who eventually splits into Kami and the Demon King Piccolo, essentially. Mm-hmm. Well, like they're not, the nameless Namekian is not their father. It's just them sort of becoming two split people. It's almost like the opposite of a fusion, really, I suppose you could call it. Then you have Piccolo Jr. Actually, they call him Junior initially in Dragon Ball, but eventually they drop Piccolo Jr., just call him Piccolo eventually. Mm-hmm. So further, I know I'm kind of getting on some like kind of side conversations here, but I think this stuff is kind of cool. We talked about in our last podcast episode how they keep pulling stuff from the original Dragon Ball Z, and they keep pulling stuff from that you maybe didn't think that much of, but they're, you really appreciate if you've watched all that. They called King Piccolo Demon King Piccolo in Dragon Ball. You remember he had that little symbol. He was the Demon King, essentially. This is not to get confused with demon realm king. He is not a demon realm king. It's just, I think that was just sort of, I don't know if he made that name for himself or
that was going to be my next question to you.
That. Right. So he's not a demon realm king. Just sort of had a demon king self-title that either he got from Earth
cool.
or he made it himself. So that's a little confusing. I've seen a lot of discussion online about that. So I just wanted to clear that up. He's not a demon realm king. In fact, I don't think either he nor Kami they weren't even born from the demon world. They came from Namek.
Right.
Let me think. Yeah, they came from Namek.
They both came from Namek.
Right. So, just wanted to clear that up because a lot of people get confused about that, and you really kind of have to really trace the steps back in some of that.
So Dende was taken from Earth, which basically means that the Earth Dragon Balls are no longer usable.
Right.
So that was kind of their reason for basically kidnapping Dende, so they couldn't wish themselves back.
Uh-huh. Well, and also Namekians are just really valuable. I think they explained it, if not in this episode, maybe it was the next episode. They say Namekians are very valuable in the demon realm, and there's only one left there. So
it's probably why
reason
they enslaved them.
Yeah.
As we discussed in the previous episode.
Uh-huh. Yep, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, that's very interesting. So do all of the Namekians have the ability to create Dragon Balls, or is it just whoever is on this planet kind of...
The Dragon Clan. Dragon Clan can create Dragon Balls. That's why Piccolo can never create Dragon Balls.
Okay.
So that's why they bring Dende to be the next guardian of the Earth, because he has the ability to create Dragon Balls.
Okay.
And luckily the Namekians at one point in time, I think they explained the whole Namekian race had been wiped out, and Guru was the only one who survived, but he was able to give birth to other Namekians. But luckily he was from the Dragon Clan, therefore the being able to use the Dragon Balls continued on.
Okay.
Fun fact there. I know a lot of Namekian kind of, trivia right there for the really, really hardcore fans. Mm-hmm. So anyway, back to this episode now. I think we left off talking about Neva, right?
Yeah. So Neva immediately clocks Goku's bowling ball bag, as we kind of referred to it in the previous episode as. So he sees that they have a Dragon Ball in their possession already. Why do you... he asks them, how many Dragon Balls do you have? Why do you think that he asked that when he already knew?
Okay, so we know that he already knew somehow that they had one. Is that right?
Right, because they showed his face looking at the bag.
Would it have been possible for them to have already beaten another Tamagami before he even knew that they had that one? Because he's not watching from a video monitor
True.
Like the Demon King, is he?
No, but he is able to gather all of the Dragon Balls. Is he able to also sense where,
his own internal dragon radar, you think?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he has that power.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Because if he's able to just immediately gather them all, is he able to do that wherever?
Yeah. I would think he can gather them all, but if he can tell exactly where they're at, I don't know about that.
So maybe it was an innocent question.
Yeah, perhaps. Okay, so he insists on accompanying them. I think because he's just kind of on their side.
I think so too. When you gather the Demon Realm Dragon Balls, you need someone who is able to speak Namekian in order to make the wish.
So he's on what we're kind of calling, I guess, the original Namek. I don't know what it's actually called.
Maybe the Namek Village, for lack of better terms.
Yeah. So there are no longer any Namekians there, but he's there.
He's the last one.
Yeah, he's the last one. And he says, well, I got to take care of it for when they return. So I didn't know what that meant.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
He thinks that Piccolo and the crew, they're all gonna just move back eventually.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if that was some foreshadowing or what that meant in this case.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Or maybe he's just kind of holding out hope that he won't be alone for the rest of his life. Because that's got to be pretty sad. He's just completely by himself all the time.
Yeah.
So he, of course, he created these Dragon Balls, and he has taken it upon himself to make sure that they're protected and they don't fall into the wrong hands. So he created these Tamagami in order to protect the Dragon Balls from like ill-intended people. And the Tamagami, they will only fight people one-on-one.
So some interesting kind of factors about them. Yeah, they only fight them one-on-one. I wonder if that's maybe not. Obviously, that's just a matter of strength, but perhaps they kind of judge their character somehow in the fight. And then also with whatever the next goofy trial is, which usually seems like some kind of matter of wits. But he says he did it to prevent it from getting to ill will people. Isn't that just, you're just saying like, no, you're just letting the strongest take them over.
Basically.
Or the smartest. So that part didn't quite make sense to me, but maybe the Tamagami kind of judge their character a little bit as they go through. I don't know. We'll get to it later on in the episode. What happens with Tamagami in Demon World.
I guess it does at least weed out like some of just the ruffians who like, I have a gun, I'm going to do whatever. So like, I'm gonna take these Dragon Balls and do something bad. Yeah.
Well, nevertheless, it prevents them from being used very often, I suppose.
Yeah, which is probably a good thing. But so Dr. Arinsu, she's basically starting from scratch. So after Majin Ku couldn't get the job done with fighting Tamagami number 1. She's starting from scratch, and they're like, all right, we need to kick this up several notches. So instead of adding just like a little bit of the essence of Boo, they're like, just dump the whole bottle in.
Go for it. Yep.
Go big or go home. And instead of like 5 centimeters, was it 5 centimeters or 2 centimeters for the first guy?
I don't remember.
I think it was
20 centimeters instead of 10.
Yeah, so they had said, the witch had said, this one, let's kick it up and do 10. And she's like, no, 20.
Okay.
But with Ku, I think it was either 2 or 5 centimeters.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that many details. I'm impressed you do.
But either way, it was like a significant increase in the depth that they were burying that thing. And then we had talked about this in one of the previous episodes, maybe 2 episodes ago. Oh, it requires saliva. And they do another very tasteful shot of her like doing the saliva. They don't show her mouth or anything. Like they don't, do the stereotypical anime type gross or type things, like making it weird and uncomfortable.
It's very interesting how they make a point to avoid
saliva.
doing that. Yeah.
Like, why include that then why even include that to begin with?
I have no idea.
So the new creation, they're calling him Do. So he kind of looks and acts more like Majin Buu that we're kind of more so familiar with. Like, he looks like him, like, physically wise, and then, like, has a lot of like the personality characteristics.
Yep.
I want chocolate, and just kind of very childlike.
And I wonder what'll become of Ku and Do. Are they actually going to become like big time villains at the end?
Do you think that those two will fuse at some point?
You kind of beat me to it. Yeah, I wonder if one's going to absorb the other one, kind of like how Evil Boo and Good Boo did, and then they'll become like one big powerful Boo, kind of like in Dragon Ball Z. And then we're like, okay, here we go, another Majin Buu villain again, another villain that can just regenerate and is like unbeatable. I hope we're not just gonna repeat that, because I'm kind of tired. I've said this in past podcasts. I'm tired of Dragon Ball Z villains that can just regenerate.
But
I'm tired of that.
They're green now instead of pink.
Yeah, they're Cybermen green now. So yeah, that might add something to it. Yep.
So it was interesting that they made like a big point of his, I guess Majin Buu's first greeting to everyone. It was "Ncha," and
yeah, that was so weird. I'm like, what just happened? Because like even the serious characters all of a sudden they're like, "Wow!" I'm like,
"Ncha!"
What just happened?
Yeah, so I was just like, that was very strange. Is there something like deeper about this? Like, what is going on here? So I did research this. So "Ncha" is basically slang, shortened version of konnichiwa, which is the Japanese word for hello. So basically they all just said hey to each other. So this was actually
way out of character too.
Very much so. But this is a callback to another series altogether. So a popular anime character, Arale Norimaki.
And I assume this is why you gave these to me to hold up as you introduce
so,
it.
Arale Norimaki, she's a little girl with glasses, as you can see. Dr. Slump is a manga about a science fiction comedy of this little girl who is actually a robot and her very eccentric inventor partner in crime. And they go on all these wacky adventures together, and it's a comedy. But if you kind of recognize the drawing, the creator of Dr. Slump is none other than Akira Toriyama. So Dr. Slump is what made, was basically Akira Toriyama's big break. So this is what got him into creating manga. So we wouldn't have Dragon Ball if he didn't start with Dr. Slump.
Huh?
Yep. Okay. So it's all thanks to her.
I remember seeing her in, Super, because I remember them talking about her. I'm like, she seems familiar. Who is this annoying character? And I'm like, and I look back, like, oh yeah, she was in Dragon Ball. I remember there was an annoying character like this. Mm-hmm. And then, so I didn't really know that was from Dr. Slump. I should see if I have some of that in some of my Shonen Jump magazines over in the closet, and I could have pulled some of those out like I have done in previous episodes, and so look for some of that.
So this science fiction comedy was written in the early 1980s. So she was a mischievous little robot girl, and she had super strength. And the inventor was going on these adventures with her, but it was a constant struggle to conceal her identity from the people around her. Because, they didn't want people to know that she was a robot. They just wanted her to think that she was human. But
android?
Yes.
Basically the android equivalent? Or no. She's just a robot, not even android, right?
Right. Okay. She's just a robot. So this manga is what put him into the business. Akira Toriyama, this was his big break. So this manga sold over 30 million copies in Japan.
Wow.
And then, so later, because it did so well, it was animated by Toei Anime for 243 episodes between 1981 and 1986.
Wow. I kind of want to go back and watch that now. I wonder if that would be on Crunchyroll or because Toei Animation, does that usually go on Crunchyroll?
I think so. So we can probably look later and see it. And so if you guys are a fan of Akira Toriyama, this might be one worth checking out that you might like.
To go back to where it started, see this, little Easter egg where it came from.
It did get remade in the late 90s. So they condensed it into 74 episodes.
So I wonder if that's the only version available now, because I think a lot of times they only give you the latest. Like, I'll give you an example, like Full Metal Alchemist. Now it's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. You can't get the original anywhere that, as far as I can tell, legally.
Our mateys.
Yeah. Yep.
But so that character, Arale, she makes several cameos throughout Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super she's a part of, and she even makes an appearance in some of the movies.
The movies too?
She's seen in like pictures in Bulma's house. Okay. She's on Master Roshi's TV. She's on a poster in Gohan's room when he's younger. Okay. And then she plays a key role then later in Dragon Ball Super.
So sneaky, putting in some of your other work in your other cross universes.
I love seeing those little Easter eggs, because like Disney kind of does that too.
Oh yeah.
So it's cool that that's not just a Disney thing. Honestly, Akira Toriyama maybe did it first. Who knows?
Yeah. Yep.
So that is my little bit of research here for you. If you're super into Dragon Ball, this other anime might be right up your alley. Yeah. Same creator, same artwork.
A lot of trivia here. You with this, and then of course I kind of went on my thing earlier about Namekians and the original Namek earlier in this episode. All right. So anything more on this before I move on?
No, I think that just about covers it. I just thought that was super interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. A lot of neat trivia that, hopefully someone picked up on who didn't already know that. Okay, so all right, let's talk about this fight between the Tamagami and Do and Vegeta. Two fights going on at the same time. And actually, really in this episode, not a lot happened.
Right.
It's really just fighting.
Yeah.
So it's like if you want that action sequence, you're definitely going to get it in this episode. If you want some deep story or some
character
kind of
development, you're not getting that here.
Not yet. There's nothing really to this. That was the last episode. So anyway, I still want to talk about this fight though, because there was some really neat, cool stuff that happened here. So yeah, we have Do fighting a Tamagami, Vegeta fighting a Tamagami. What happens in these fights here? The one with Do and Boo is... I'm sorry. The one with Do...
The Tamagami fighting, number one.
Yeah, him. He fights kind of annoyingly like Majin Buu does. And it's...
He's just very, buoyant, I guess would be a good word. He just bounces and stretches and just wiggles around everything, which is annoying. If you're a good fighter, be a good fighter. Block it, dodge it.
I'm getting back to Majin Buu, which is probably one of my least favorite villains. But anyway, sorry for being a buzzkill. So we get back to so now they get to the point where they show the Tamagami. It looks like every time we first got to do a feature of strength. The first Tamagami that they fought, Goku did the little cup thing. This one, so they all does basically another mental challenge. It was math, wasn't it?
Yeah, then, mental math.
Yeah. So that's where this idiot Do couldn't. He's like, we're in trouble. But
to be fair, all of these smart doctors and scientists, they're like, I can't even do that kind of math. The numbers that they were flashing on the screen so fast, a doctor couldn't do that mental math.
Yeah.
But thankfully, the original creation, Ku, he's incredibly smart.
He shines.
Apparently.
Yeah, he shines. So one has brain, one has brawn now. So, an interesting component to both of them. Interesting dynamic, I mean to say. Meanwhile, at the same time, these fights are going on side by side. Vegeta fights a second Tamagami, right? So what happens in this fight then?
So originally when Vegeta is challenging this Tamagami, the Tamagami, he's like, you're a kid. Like, I'm not going to fight a child until, like, he makes eye contact with Neva, and Neva's like, yep, go ahead, do it, kind of giving him the nod. He's like, okay, so this isn't just an ordinary child. All right, okay, I'll fight you. Let's do it. So they're fighting, and Vegeta gets knocked into the water. So now a Kraken is awakened. So, like, whatever happened to this one-on-one fight that Neva said that the Tamagami will only fight you one-on-one?
Yeah.
Well, it's like,
I guess not. Yeah.
He gets a, like, Kraken helper.
Yeah.
But,
He just kind of keeps. I don't know if the Kraken necessarily discriminates. I think the Tamagami just keeps hitting Vegeta toward him and just kind of makes use of it. So Vegeta has an extra challenge, and he's kind of like stuck in the middle of these two people going after him.
Right. So he like had to fight the Tamagami on hard mode. And then on top of that, as he's fighting him, Neva's like, let's give him a power boost. So it's even harder than at that point. But Neva's like, well, the Saiyans enjoy fighting, so I'm just making it more fun for him, right?
From a storytelling perspective, gives them another reason for the next thing, which we see.
I don't think we've ever seen before. Right. Vegeta goes Super Saiyan 3 as a child.
That's why I wore this short shirt going back to Goku's Super Saiyan 3.
I don't think we showed our shirts this time around.
Yep.
But we're both wearing
I wanted to bring this back since we're talking about Super Saiyan 3. And
we're both wearing our Dragon Ball Z shirts. So, yeah, but got to make use of them if we're talking Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
So, so we've never really seen Vegeta go Super Saiyan 3 before, and Bulma's like, yep, that's my man. He's been working on it.
Yep, and I have a bone to pick with this, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this. We're almost running short on time, but he turned Super Saiyan 3 for this. Why didn't he turn Super Saiyan 3? So, Daima takes place in between Dragon Ball Z and Super, right? Mm-hmm. Why didn't he turn Super Saiyan 3 against a destroyer, which he knew who Beerus was, a destroyer? And he gets, like, super mad when I forget what happened. He hit Bulma or something. He's like, not my Bulma!
Oh, yeah.
It's like, you could have turned Super Saiyan 3 there.
Did he know how at that point?
Well, this is in Super. Super comes after Daima. Daima is in between Dragon Ball Z and Daima.
I thought Daima occurred like right after they defeated Boo, though.
Right. And Boo, so it goes, they defeat Boo, then it's Daima, then it's Dragon Ball Super.
So Super hasn't happened yet in Daima.
Correct.
Okay.
So, I mean, I know the obvious answer
I see what you're saying.
The obvious answer is Akira Toriyama just didn't.
He didn't
give him that yet. And then now he's like, okay, now I'm going to do it. So that's I guess the obvious answer. But if you're going to try to justify it, I guess maybe you could argue, well, Super Saiyan 3 takes up a lot of energy. Vegeta thought he could just beat the Tamagami really quick and then be done with it. Mm-hmm. Similarly, on the flip side with against Beerus, maybe he thought he'd have to fight him a little bit longer and wouldn't be able to maintain that form. I don't know. I think that's kind of an uphill battle arguing that, but anyway, that's kind of a continuity issue that I have there. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so to wrap this up, the team's journey continues to now the first demon world as their adventure in the second demon world comes to an end. And similarly, speaking of the end, that's all for today's episode of The Kamado Show. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Coley. Thanks for tuning in. Don't be a Kamadope. Like and subscribe to our channel for more anime fun with your favorite brother-sister anime duo.
Now, new episodes come out weekly, so let us know what you'd like us to talk about or if you'd like to be a guest on the show. And we will see you next time on The Kamado Show.